Do you like art? Art comes in many forms, but generally the first thing that comes to mind when you think of art is pretty pictures. But of course that's not what art is. It's not just limited to imagery. Poetry is art, music is art, sculpture is art, hell, it's called martial arts. For a reason. Of course, for video games, which are a form of art, the biggest point in its favour is the fact that it's interactive. It's an interactive medium, so it's not enough for a game to look or sound amazing or have a great story. These things are crucial to other art forms, but they're not the thing which we judge games on. So today I'm talking to you about Planet Alpha, a game which heard that video games could be art, and just decided to give us a bunch of pretty pictures. Planet Alpha is a truly gorgeous game. It's a puzzle platformer in the vein of Limbo or Unravel, and you run, jump, climb, push, pull, and hide your way around a planet in the midst of an invasion by extraterrestrial robots. And that's about it. You know my City of Brass review and how there was like a small plot hook at the start and no real follow-up story or any environmental storytelling at all? Well, the plot hook for Planet Alpha is you are on an alien planet, and everything else is environmental storytelling, which leaves you to try and piece it together yourself. And it's not particularly interesting. So here's what I can put together for you. The game starts with a flash forward to the end, or potential end, of the game. There's some vague allusions to this being a time loop, and you getting into a time machine, but this is done clumsily at best, and honestly it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, given the context of everything else. So you can tell you're not native to the planet because you're wearing a spacesuit of some kind, and the vague allusions to the time loop, in case you were wondering, by the way, are an achievement that you get for completing the game with getting a bunch of the collectibles, and finding a bunch of bodies around in the same outfit as yourself, as well as the one point at the start of the game where there's a figure in the same outfit as you watching from a distance. So this idea of it being a time loop is tenuous at best, and honestly not interesting enough to dwell upon. The only notable thing about it is the smug, "Oh, isn't that interesting?" responses from the developers when people have asked them about the ending, because people are expecting some sort of payoff. But surprise! There's no story-based payoff, the game just ends. Your character sprints out of an exploding death machine and abruptly starts limping like Darth Vader in Return of the Jedi when he suddenly realizes that the script says that he's supposed to be injured. The platforming mechanics in Planet Alpha are incredibly basic. It feels like Limbo, except without any of the interesting mechanics of Limbo. There is some kind of interesting story going on in the background, some precursor aliens that existed on the planet beforehand and were literally rotating it to affect the day and night cycles in a way which is clearly not time travel, but it's got to wreak absolute havoc with the native flora and fauna. And the day-night rotation is an interesting mechanic, but it's underutilized, and when it is utilized, it feels tokenistic. Like a nod to gameplay that isn't actually there until Planet Alpha decides to throw that away and get back to what it does best, which is giving us pretty pictures. Some robots do turn up and they start wreaking havoc and chasing the player, and they result in some shallow and honestly fairly buggy stealth sections and some explosive set pieces. And there's some vague environmental comments being made with the robot invasion, but due to the nature of the gameplay and the storytelling, the comment can't be much more than, rampant deforestation and slaughter of animals, probably not the best thing. But you know what, all credit where it's due though, Planet Alpha is gorgeous to look on, and it was made by an incredibly tiny team. But you know what, you know what else was made by a tiny team? Celeste. Celeste was made by a team roughly the same size, I think, and it has a better story, tighter platforming, and although the art style is distinctly different, and may have benefited from being more like Planet Alpha, it still looks great to me. But look, no, comparing Planet Alpha and Celeste isn't fair. You know what is fair? Planet Alpha and Unravel. Unravel is similarly light on explicit storytelling, but it's got a lot more interesting gameplay elements, it's got more engaging environmental storytelling, it's got a similarly pretty and action-filled backdrop, and a more interactive world. And it's got the really cute mascot. It's got Yanni. Look at him. He's so cute. Little Yanni. Look at him. Like, all things considered, I I enjoyed Planet Alpha. I think. I did. And then I didn't like it. I enjoyed it, but I didn't like it. There's a lot of bugs that I came across during my time with the game. I'll just give you a few of them. So there was times when the graphics would tear and the frame rate would drop horribly unless I just completely restarted the game. And there's multiple times where I would enter a new area and the area wouldn't load. So I'd spawn in midair and nothing else would, and I would fall to my death and then respawn into an infinite death loop as nothing else would load. And there was also a whole host of AI bugs for the killer robots who do look amazing. But apparently these bugs with the killer robots are a fairly common problem. So here we are at the end of what's going to be my shortest review, probably ever. How does Planet Alpha stack up against TIE Fighter? It doesn't. It's TIE Fighter, come on. Planet Alpha is not great. Okay, look, let's stack it up. It is prettier than TIE Fighter. It is cheaper, technically, because in order to play TIE Fighter you need to buy a joystick in order to play it, and it runs on all modern consoles and PC. But it's not as fun as TIE Fighter, and the story isn't as good as TIE Fighter, the mechanics aren't as tight as TIE Fighter, so no, it's not as good as TIE Fighter. Do I recommend Planet Alpha? Hell no. God, I recommend that you do not play Planet Alpha. If you want an in-depth platformer, play Celeste. If you want a pretty platformer, play Unravel. If you want a good balance between your platforming and your art style and your varied gameplay, any modern Mario game works, or honestly, any Mario game, as long as it's the platforming ones, because if you're looking for platforming, you get like Mario Tennis. Not exactly what you're looking for. And if the team that made Planet Alpha watches this, which you won't, but just in case, can you take those gorgeous art assets and the story that you really wanted to tell, because it was there somewhere, just all muddy and not really engaging, can you just take all that and turn it into an animated film? Because I would love it if Planet Alpha was like, you know, a short animated film or even feature length. I would adore it, I would love it, I would watch it forever. But not as a video game. It's not great, it's not good, just don't do it. Anyway, I'm Kit, this has been purely subjective. Join me next time when, a book, I was going to finish this up and have it for this week, but I got distracted by things. Anyway, bye.